You're listening to Gym Owner Jams.
Welcome back to our Gym Owner Jams podcast. After taking a year break from all this talking, we decided to revive it with our 12th episode. Today we're going to break up this podcast into 3 9-minute AMRAPs. We have 3 exciting topics to talk about. The first one will be our CrossFit Kaboom takeover, where Mikey will share some insights. The next one will be everything that's going on with the business throughout the multiple locations and potential new locations coming up. And the third one will just be to chat to these Chalmers brothers about the experience at Fittest in Cape Town. All right, first 3-minute AMRAP starts now.
Give me 9 minutes.
9 minutes, come on. 4-5 seconds in. Mikey, take us through just sort of how we got to where we are. I know it started a while ago, but maybe you can share some brilliant insight on that.
Brilliant, and try and talk a little bit more than
Exactly.
normally. So started working at CrossFit Kaboom, Jan last year, just looking for some extra cash. And just towards the end of last year, we got the opportunity to kind of take it over.
But you were eyeing that place from like March of that year.
Yeah, I think when I went for the interview with Kate and Adrian, who were the original head coaches, they kind of said that the current owners were looking to sell out, things like that. So we kind of had this, I came straight back to you and said, listen, here's a place we can take over and buy over, second location. And went quiet for a few months, and then I think it was August last year, kind of got into the talks about it. Kate and Adrian approached me. They were stepping down as the head coaches, wanted me to take over the head coach role, and kind of just saw that as the opportunity for us to take over the gym, add our value to the gym instead of just being a head coach there. And so from there, you were involved more in the negotiations, I think, than I was for...
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of chats to the shareholders. I think they were keen to sell. I think what struck me first is that the community was very similar in sort of cohesion and tightness than ours. Different setups, but...
very different cultures.
Exactly. But very sort of tight-knit, proud Kaboom members, which was good. I mean, obviously... came with this challenge was to slowly try and sort of reintroduce our brand into it. But the process was sort of seamless. I think we took over, in my opinion, quite easily. We didn't want to rush anything or force any changes onto people. And then sort of fast forward to January. I think January we started making some changes. I think we changed the name. Nick had to make some design work. What happened there?
Yeah, look, I mean, we decided that we were going to try and do some more sort of brand awareness and try and bring it into the ATG brand umbrella, which took a little bit of work at first, and I think we're still working on the project. At that stage, we were just finishing up on the back end of our rebrand from ATG Randburg side. So to bring what we now call ATG Norwood into the project took a little bit of doing, and obviously we're still busy with some things which we'll talk about now in our next segment. But it's been actually quite an interesting learning curve, because we've had to sort of learn how to do things on the fly and try and figure out how to make branding work for 2 completely different cultures and try and create one sort of solid environment, which has been really interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was sort of started the open. That was sort of a tough challenge to try and get people aligned, and I think we did well. Maybe you can share just sort of the process we went through in trying to get that open as integrated as possible.
Yeah, so I think what the whole goal was to try and not only take over that side, but to try and expose them to what we have at Randburg and show them what we can possibly create that side. Although there was a very tight-knit community there where they would go, for coffees and stuff as a group, it wasn't necessarily a gym culture. It was more just a group of people that were friendly outside of the gym, if that makes sense. Whereas at our Randburg culture, we've always had a good buy-in from our members in the actual facility. So when it came to the open, we saw it as an opportunity to try and do it on both sides. So what we did was we tried to encourage, first of all the coaches and members to experience both facilities, by having the Friday night lights at Randburg and doing the Saturday session of the Open at Norwood, which I think was quite well received from both sides of the membership. Then we ran our own open competition, which I think went pretty well, and we learned a couple of things from it this year that will probably change next year, like how the scoring went and all that kind of stuff. But I think putting them in coaches' teams was a good idea, and splitting the membership up so that they were competing against one another kept everyone engaged for the most part. And then I was pleasantly surprised by when we decided that the last Open we would do at Randburg on the Saturday. I was extremely surprised and extremely happy with the number of Norwood members that turned out to be there, whether it was competing or just to support. It really seemed like we had the buy-in from them at that facility, and for us that's obviously a very exciting thing, considering that the programming from the start was completely different. I mean,
I think when you talk about the buy-in in terms of what we're chatting about there, I think the first couple months was quite difficult to some of the members. I think everyone has got their perception. They've been at a gym for 5-7 years since Kaboom had opened. I think they had certain programming a certain way, they were coached a certain way, and you've got to understand that. You've got to be patient with people. You can't come in and just turn their world upside down and get angry about it either. So you've also got to put yourself in their shoes and kind of go, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but you've also got to understand why I'm trying to do. So You've kind of got to go through that process. But I think the Open was just a massive marker for us to show, this is what we're doing, this is what we're trying to do for you guys, and the service we're trying to provide you, the quality we want to give you in the coaching, etc. So I think that helped a lot, and it's, wouldn't say it's smooth sailing, but again at Randburg we don't have smooth sailing either all the time. That's a part. It's never going to be perfect.
Always
I think.
Going to be kicked back.
Exactly, and that's okay.
I think the whole goal from the get-go is we're trying to create one ATG community rather than two separate facilities running in their own space. Mm-hmm. Even though we're in two different places, the whole goal of the Open and the whole goal of that integration process is to try and get people to understand that we want to have a widespread ATG community. That's our goal. So although we have different cultures in different places, which is a natural thing, we really want to try and use the Open to create that, or this was the goal, to create that vibe of, listen, we're all doing CrossFit, we're all trying to work together, and we're all trying to be part of the same family, you know what I mean? And I think hopefully we achieve that to a certain degree, and that's going to grow as we start to integrate a bit more. And what we'd like to do in the next few months is us as coaches, myself and Kyle especially, try to get more involved in Norwood in a lot of ways to try and introduce ourselves to a lot of the members that haven't met us before and haven't seen us before.
I think that's important, is that, like you're saying, it's not just the members that you want this cohesion from. You want a coach that has never stepped in that gym before to be able to fit in the moment they have to fill in for. Lanja and I are the coaches doing the sessions at Norwood, and if one of us is away, you kind of want Nick to come in and no one to bat an eye and go, okay, the coaching style, yes, he's got his individual flair, he's got his own knowledge, but they've got a certain style about them, and this is what they're trying to get across the board.
I have a question. How's Landre been dealing with this completely different culture? Because that guy,
I don't know, our Afrikaans membership has definitely picked up since definitely, I don't know, that Oak's got some secret group that he's bringing them from.
Because I have to say, that guy, I think his mom never reinforced things like you have to wear shoes to public places. That guy's just literally learned how to put on long pants for the first time I've ever seen him in long pants this year. So how does he cope with the culture of mostly English people and people that are back chatting him with these very big words? That's very interesting to me. I would love to see him trying to deal with that.
Maybe we should have a full video on Landre, a day in the life of Landre.
Yeah, coaching at Norwood.
Okay, great. I think our 9 minutes is just about up. Exciting to see what the next year will hold for Norwood. And I think that sort of flows into the next topic on sort of, as a business, we've been making some changes. I think we've sort of, I don't know, you try a couple of things and then they don't always work. But I think we're now at a point where we've sort of have a strategy. for the next year. Maybe we can chat about that for the next 9 minutes, and our time starts now. Carl, maybe you can kick us off. I mean, obviously, I think we've had this marketing growth strategy for the first 5 years. Hit COVID, sort of nothing grew for a while, but we maintained. I think we did well. Then it seemed like, in my opinion, as if we jumped straight into the growth thing, sort of post-COVID, when we could start. And now, maybe chat to us how we sort of changed that whole thing and where we think the value is now.
Yeah, I think we've realized, especially over the last couple of months. I mean, I guess we looked at it a couple of months ago and realized we're not on the growth trajectory path that we were hoping we would be on. And I think that was because we were looking externally everywhere for how to market and where to go and how do we. And since for the last couple of months, where we've put a lot more effort into just trying to grow, trying to give our membership a better retention in the gym, trying to make them feel more like it's their place, where they want to be, where they want their family to be, that sort of thing. That seems to have seems to have gotten us a whole bunch of members over the last couple of months. So I think the shift that we had was more, we've now gone away from trying to search for external marketing, trying to find other ways to grow outward, and instead focusing on trying to make the member experience as memorable as possible, so they start to refer members and bring people in, which I think is making a big difference. And then on that side of things, we also realized that we've put a lot of stuff that we wanted to do in the gym in terms of upgrades and things like repainting and redoing flooring that we've just done at Norwood. That sort of stuff we put on hold because we were trying to aggressively grow, and that seems to be stuff that's making a difference to people more than advertising on social media and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating because I think we just completely overlooked the fact that we have a network of people that could basically market the place for you, and it is a quality lead. I mean, we've been advertising on social media and Google and the likes, and you get your 70 or 80 leads, but there's not a lot of quality in those leads. So maybe out of the 88 rock up at the gym, and maybe 3 didn't realize, or 5 of them didn't realize it's what they were after. Your referral comes in and they've already been exposed to your gym through the lens of your member. And in my opinion, we sort of pre-COVID thought that we've exhausted our network, got a whole overall of new members during COVID. A lot of the old sort of pre-COVID members left, and we took that for granted that now we have a completely new network. And I just find this referral, the rejuvenated referral sort of competition has brought us so many new quality leads, and we've completely stopped social media marketing.
Yeah, but I think also you've got to look at a quality referral system as well, because we've had referral systems in the past that just have not generated anything 1 month into this new referral system, and it's amazing what we've got through it.
But I think maybe Nick can talk about from the coaching side, because I think that has also been a big change over the last couple of months, is that the coach is actually getting involved in chatting to new members and being involved in the process of getting a member in the gym, instead of just the management team contacting people or Mike doing his follow-ups and things like that. I mean, we can definitely say a big thank you to the coaches over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you want to...
So, I think what we've tried to do for the members that don't know, we're quite involved with our coaching team as often as we possibly can be. We have quite a large coaching team. I think there's 8 of us in total, if I'm counting correctly, including James, who teaches the youngsters in the karate side of things. And we try to have monthly meetings with our coaches, and we involve them in as much of the day-to-day of the gym as we can. And what we've said is that the coaches can be involved in this recruitment project and the referral program, because the network and the reach that our coaches have is actually quite large. And we didn't realize, we're now starting to see the influence that our coaches have on people is quite substantial. And that's due to the people that they are, you know what I mean? And the fact that we've got thankfully, a really good team around us that we can lean on to help us to grow the business. And, you know, I think one of our main goals has always been, first and foremost, to provide quality service to our members, and that starts with the coaches. You know, whatever facilities you have, whatever equipment you might have, and whatever money you might have behind you in terms of your infrastructure, doesn't really match up to good quality coaching with good people. And I think that's really sort of becoming the backbone of what our business model is all about. You know, where we are very excited for the fact that we have members specifically coming to the gym because they've been referred by Luvan, you know, or you know, people chatting to each other through a whole new network that we would not previously have if it was just reliant on our core group of members. Now the coaches have expanded that reach, you know, which I think is a great thing. And obviously without you know, sugarcoating it too much, the coaches do get their benefits and their kickbacks from it, which is natural. It's part of our business model. But having said that, I think, at least from what we've seen, they do seem to believe in our same vision, you know, which I think is great. Yeah. And we've been very lucky with regards to that, where we've kept our coaches for a long time, and even the coaches that have come on board now are quality coaches.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I think that really helped. And then just what the sort of the savings we made on not spending money on external marketing now, we can plow back into the gym. So, yeah. I mean, as a lot of the members might have seen, we are sort of aggressively trying to do some upgrades to the gym. Some of that happened in the karate side. We've started with the flooring at Norwood. Quite excited about what's going on. I mean, we have a couple of projects, Carl. It's going to be a busy 2 months for you.
Yeah, look, we're looking to, we've always had a pro shop, but it's never really run properly, so we're excited to be bringing someone on. Yeah. You guys will meet her, and Princess. She's probably going to give us a lot of hassles because we use that pro shop like our own shop, but yeah, we've got no processes in place, so she's going to come there and hopefully take over and make things run smoothly. So hopefully that pro shop is up and running. Not hopefully, it has to be up and running by the end of the month. And yeah, another exciting project on the go there. And then just general maintenance and upgrades.
Fresh coat of paint.
Fresh coat of paint, and hopefully the first fresh coat of paint will be at Norwood. Mike is super excited about that.
Mike has also insisted that happens that way.
Yeah.
No, it's time.
But I don't know, between Mike and Nick, you know, who do you think is more pedantic on little lines and things being out of place? I think Mikey might challenge Nick here for...
I just do things wrong on purpose to upset them, but that's my goal forever.
Depends what time of night we're still doing upgrades at.
Yeah, if it's 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday, none of us agreeing on anything.
Listen, these guys are still complaining about the flooring that they put down at Norwood. So anyone that's complaining about slippery floors or that they are skew, just be sensitive to Mike's feelings as well.
I mean, we should talk them through the process of what went down on Saturday.
That might be a completely different podcast all by itself.
I think we need to get into that. That's an interesting story.
That is, I've heard it now from a couple of voices, including Casey's, and it sounds to me like it should have been a full vlog on that. Yeah. Okay, our second AMRAP's coming to an end. I'm quite excited about this third one. Your guys' experience at Fittest in Cape Town. It looked like it was a jewel. Maybe chat us to that whole process. I mean, that started way before Fittest in Cape Town.
Yeah, so we qualified for Fittest in Cape Town.
But before that, let's just go back, because normally when we attack the open season going through, we have two hats. We have the coach's hat and then you have the athlete's hat, and you try to balance both of them, and you don't always get to spend time being an athlete.
Keep talking, Sam.
We don't really get to spend time being an athlete because, you know, sometimes you don't get to train because you've got to focus on your clients and your members. But this year we tried to say, okay, we're going to get as far as we can, because last year we qualified as a team and we decided not to go because the entry is ridiculously expensive. How much was it? $600 or something like that.
Grand.
So it costs 9,000 Rand just to enter the team in the competition, right? So we said if we made it this year, we were definitely going to go, and we would formulate a plan to try and raise funds. But here's the problem. Kyle got married. Okay? All right. So the problem is this, is that Kyle was super fit going into his wedding for one reason and one reason only. We called it shredding for the wedding. Okay? Because he wanted to get in shape to fit in his suit, that he didn't turn sideways and rip his jacket. Okay? And he did that. Then he went on honeymoon and he ate his feelings. I don't know what he did. But Kyle.
Well, I think Carl must take you through his breakfast on the boat for one day. Like, because I got a message one day telling me what his breakfast was.
So everyone that's been on the cruise knows that it's just you just eat food the whole time. So you go there for breakfast, and then they set up what I call 3 different types of breakfast. So how can you go there and then not eat all 3 types of breakfast for breakfast? That's the way that it works. You go there and you have your cereal, because that's like your warm up. Then your skeel is like your hot food, that's the important stuff, your bacon, your eggs, your toast, or chips, all that stuff. And then they've got like desserts, like donuts, and what you must have your feelings. The cool down is important as the workout.
So basically, you came back 10 kilos heavier.
I'm pretty sure I was about 10 kilos heavier when I came back from.
But that was 2 weeks before our qualifier as a team. So he had 2 weeks to try and get into shape. You must understand, to compete at a quarterfinals level. And he was not happy about the situation. When we did those quarterfinals, he swore at me a few times. Let's just say that. Normally we have this sort of unwritten thing where if we work together as a team, the one that's struggling gets motivated by the one who's not struggling so much, and the one who's not struggling so much will start this counting routine. So when we need to get back up on the bar for sink toes to bar or whatever, you start counting 5, 4, 3. He told me to shut up. He just said, shut up. Stop counting, shut up, I'm not having it. So that was quite an adventure.
But we qualified.
Yeah, no, then you guys qualified, which is great.
Mostly because our girls are good.
Yeah, that's true. So you qualified, and then we had this massive fundraiser, which I don't know, I was skeptical from the beginning that this is going to work, where we basically sold reps for you guys to do. Had these charts up. You can buy for 20 Rand, you can buy 5 GHDs or the 7 cal assault bike, and that just took off in that week like I couldn't believe.
There was times in that week where I was looking at those things thinking, we are going to get injured. We are going to get rammed over. We're going to die.
2 weeks before
2
you go.
weeks before we go, we're going to have like some sort of injury or something from this workout. I think I messaged you and said, like, we need to try to change this format somehow.
We can put this workout up. Eventually, we managed to raise, I think, 23,000 Rand for you guys, which covered that expensive registration fee, accommodation, I believe. I think you guys had a car and flights, which is fantastic. And that sort of evident. I mean, I know Norwood also had a board, and we thought that we might not get a lot, and it seems that there were some people that were very competitive and keen to punish. So they just made sure when they heard Mikey was a part of this thing, they just made sure their board was filled as well, which was fantastic.
That just tells me that if we ever do it again, we must make Landre positive. They'll buy even more reps.
But I do think it's amazing to see how our members back. As much as they wanted to see us suffer, the fact that they wanted to get you guys there to Cape Town and were so generous and willing.
I would like to think that is the reason. People say, we wanted to see you suffer, but it wasn't the reason. I mean, I think people were genuinely behind us, and that was amazing.
Well, some of our members, like Stefan, offered to buy rest for us. So he looked at the board and said, there's no way to do this workout. Can I buy you rest for the workout? Which I thought was pretty cool. It was a cool idea. So, I mean, at least, the members were very keen to help out. Yeah. And made a massive difference. Managed to get to Fittest in Cape Town and actually compete there.
Chat to us about the comp. How was it? What was the overall experience?
It was amazing. I think that to just be out on the floor, and you watch these sanctionals and regionals, and you see their floor set up is so professional, how the lanes look, how the rig is set up. And you always visualize how cool it would be to be on that floor. And I can tell you, it feels exactly like you think it's going to feel. You feel like a pro. You go out there, you look down that big lane that is yours. You've got a judge that's professional and sorting you out. you really feel like a top-notch athlete, and we felt like we were on TV. Even though I'm told the live feed was terrible.
There was still a live feed. We competed in event where there was a live feed.
People could watch us
I was on TV.
on the YouTube. So we were pretty happy about that, but it felt amazing. Now, the workouts, we can just be honest and say some of them were beyond us, you know, and that's a learning curve for us, which we knew going in. I mean, we knew going in, but some workouts surprised us. I mean, we take the swim workout first of all, and Shane Melissa was extremely worried about that swim workout because she's not as confident a swimmer.
And it's a 50-meter pool, I think.
50-meter pool. And so the workout did a quick breakdown. We had to do a 2K ski between the team as fast as we could. So we decided to break it up in 30-second increments until Carl decided that he's going to tell us to go 40 seconds in the last bit.
On that note, we had like, I think it was like 300 meters to go at the end of that ski. And the order was Nick was busy. He got on his like 300 left. And then I had to go. And then if he had gone 30 seconds, he would have left me with like 200, and then Melissa would have to get another 100 meters or something in 30 seconds. So in the middle of his 30 seconds or whatever, I said to him, no, just stay on till 40 seconds. He also told me no in the middle of the workout. Luckily he stayed there because he knew I wasn't going to take the handles from him in 40 seconds. But he stayed on, we got through it, and we came off the ski for these massive. I'm amazing at skiing because I'm so tall. But we came off the ski like second, I think, or third in our heat.
And then Jen got in the pool. Oh, and she's like a shark. She went hunting. She sees the competition as people to kill.
Yeah.
She's not interested in who's who. If she gets in the water, she's like, right, my game.
Yeah.
So she went hard and she got us a lead in that first heat. I think I lost us the lead in my leg. Then Carl came in, Carl finished, and then Melissa, for a person being so worried, did extremely well. She swam beautifully. I mean, she smoked her section, and we ended up winning our heat for that one, finishing 7th overall for that workout. Then we came into the bar muscle-ups workout, which we had to do 50 sink bar muscle-ups with the guys, and the girls had to do 50 sink bar muscle-ups. And what happened was broken down into segments, but you had to do 10 calories of salt, 15 calories of salt, one person, the other person had to do 20-meter handstand walk. And then you had to accumulate bar muscle-ups, sink as a group. We wanted to do it in 3 rounds. We just didn't manage it. Carl was very sad about it. But at the end of the day, we got pretty far and we finished 10th, I think, in that workout. Yeah. Then the snatch workout was a lot of watching for us. We clapped for a lot of teams. It was great.
I watched that one guy. If you watch this video, that guy from...
Tyron Hatch.
Tyron Hatch was amazing, first of all. But that other dude from Commit Okavango... that power snatched up until the 130 bar. I was in love. Did he take my wedding ring? I'll be honest.
No one told him that bar was heavy, I think.
So overall, great experience. I mean, you guys I'm pretty sure.
I think we need to also say, I mean, I know we're running out of time, but I think we also need to say, like, the organizational things. I think they was tough with COVID and restrictions, people that they could have there. But as the athlete experience at that event is really something any athlete needs to have someday. The way that the warm-up area is set up, and if they could teach other events in the country how to run that side of things, the way that the athletes are set up, reefed, lined up, all that kind of stuff, it really makes the competition something worthwhile, in my opinion.
Great. Last question for you, Mikey. ATG Norwood next year for this in Cape Town?
No, I hope so. Let's get the team going and we'll be there.
That's the one. All right, that's the end of our last AMRAP. Thanks, guys, for watching. We're going to finish this video off with Nick's infamous dad joke. Over to you.
My wife says she's thinking of leaving me because of my poker addiction, but I think she's bluffing.
That's terrible. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next month. Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Keep an eye out for another episode coming soon.
We're going to do 3 9-minute AMRAPs today. We have 3 topics to discuss. First one will be our Norwood takeover and how that is going. Second one will be what is the second point? This thing is very well prepared. Thanks, guys, for watching. Like this video, subscribe. We'll be back. Oh, sorry.
Oh.